I had a seller tell me this the other day. Hutan, I know listings are going up and I'm still getting showings, but no offers yet. Is my price wrong or is the market that slow? And my answer was, it depends. Most of the time, it's not one thing. It's price, presentation, competitions, and buyer's psychology, all happening at the same time. So in this video, I want to break down why listings are going up and homes are still sitting, and why you should do if you're selling and what you should do if you're buying. Because this market is not dead, it's very selective. Let me start with the part most people miss. When listings go up, buyers don't rush. Buyers slow down. More listings means more options. More option means more comparison. And more comparison means fewer offers and longer days on the market, especially for anything that feels overpriced or annoying to deal with. That is the big picture. Now I want to walk you through how I explain this in my real meetings with my clients. First, what is sitting the most right now? Condos in downtown Toronto and GTA are sitting a lot. Some freeholds home are sitting also, especially above the entry level price range. Luxury property is sitting the longest because the buyer pool is smaller and buyers take their time. Again, this depends on the location, but I'm just generalizing it at this point. And when I say sitting, I don't mean nobody's buying. Good listings still move, but the gap between the good listings and average listings is big. Now let's get into the real reason. Reason number one is price. This is the one that matters most. Sellers always want to talk about the last comparable sale. That one sold for X, so mine should sell for X as well. And I get why people think like that. But your real competition is not last month's sales. Your real competition is what else a buyer can buy this weekend. In a market with more listings, buyers don't feel the pressure anymore, right? So you got to look at what is your competition. They feel choice. So if your price is even a little off, they don't negotiate first. They ignore first. This is what people need to understand. Here's how it plays out. A buyer sees your home, they like it, then they see the other two homes that feel similar. One is priced a bit sharper or shows better or feels easier to get showings. They go there. They don't come back to you to negotiate. They simply just move on. So if you're priced based on hope, you become a stale listing, unfortunately. And once a listing goes stale, buyers start asking, what's wrong with it? Even when nothing is wrong with it, and they will negotiate harder if they come and show your property. I see a lot of sellers make a mistake and say, oh, let's price higher and then the buyer will negotiate. No, they won't, especially if there's similar products on the market with more competitive pricing. So what do you do with the price? In this type of market, pricing at the last comparable and waiting for the market to reach you is risky. If you want offers, you price for attention. Sometimes that means pricing slightly below the last strong comparable to pull buyers and create competition. Not to give your home away, just so you can that pricing can trigger action. Because the best window to sell is when your listing is fresh. When you miss that window, you start discounting anyway. But now you're doing it from the weaker position, right? So it's important to come in from the strong position. You price a bit low, and as the market is coming down, it catches you. So you don't have to chase the market down and miss the window when you price it too high. Now I know the next questions buyer asks. If homes are sitting, should I lowball? Here's my honest opinion. Most buyers waste time lowballing the wrong listing. If a home is priced well and it's new and it shows well in a good location, a low offer usually gets ignored and you lose the home. If a home is sitting because it's overpriced, a lower offer sometimes makes sense, but you need to base it on facts. So the right move is not just lowball everything. The right move is to target the listings that have a story. Here's what I look at with buyers. How many days on the market, how many price changes they've done, how many competitive listings exist right now around that listing, how long similar homes are taking to sell, and what the seller is doing. And are they flexible or stubborn? Learning about the seller and their position helps a lot in negotiation. So always ask why the seller is selling. Then we build an offer that matches what is happening, not what the buyer wishes is happening. Be realistic. Another reason is presentation. This matters more now because buyers have options. If your home looks messy, dark, clutter, or tired, buyers assume work. It needs work. They assume additional cost and risk and like a lot more upkeep that they need to do. And most buyers don't want projects right now. Their like budget is very limited. Even when they say they do, because rates are not that low and people feel cost pressure these days, right? Everything costs more, especially renovation. So they pick the home that feels easy and move-in ready. This shows up hard in the condos. If two units have similar layouts, the cleaner one wins. The brighter one also wins, and the one with better photos wins as well. The one that feels calm, clean, and staged wins. And if your condo is tenanted and the tenant is not cooperating, the listings almost always suffers. Bad photos, hard showings, the unit smells like cooking, laundry everywhere, lights off, tenant is annoyed, buyers feel awkward and annoyed, and they say, you know what, I'm gonna think about it, and they'll walk away, and because again, they have options. So if you're trying to sell a tenanted condo in a softer condo market, you need a plan. Either you work with a tenant closely, or you wait until vacancy, or you price with that friction in mind. You can't sell a tenanted condo and expect top price for your condo. Now, the next objection is for sellers, should I renovate before listing? I don't know your exact home, so I won't give a one size answer, but here's how I decide. If the issue is cosmetic, paint, lighting, cleaning, decluttering, and staging, I recommend people do them if they have some extra cash, because you'll sell faster, photos show better, and buyers feel better when they walk into your home. If the issue is real, like functional, like obvious leaks, obvious mold, major damage, then buyers either walk away honestly or they discount hard. Most sellers don't need big renovations. They want a home that shows well, because their buyers buy with emotion first and then they justify with logic after, right? So you gotta spark that emotion in the buyer. Reason 4 why listings are sitting is strategy. I still see sellers using the wrong strategy for this segment and for this type of market. Some list with an offer date in a market where buyers want time, they get no offers, and that hurts the listing. Others list high thinking they will leave room, but buyers don't negotiate with the listing they don't respect. They just skip it. The right offer strategy depends on your product. Entry-level freeholds, sharp price, good conditions, those still move. Mid-range and higher freeholds, buyers often want conditions, inspection, and some time to compare. So you gotta strategize according to that. Condos, buyers are more cautious and they want to review the status certificate and they want to feel safe. So I recommend always get the status certificate in advance. So you need to align your strategy to what buyers are doing right now, not what worked 2 years ago. Now let's answer the big questions. If listings are up, why aren't pricing dropping faster? In reality, prices do drop, and they've dropped almost 25% from the peak in 2022. But I guess based on the month of inventory and number of listings, people are expecting prices to drop a lot faster and further. But here's the honest answers. Price do not drop evenly. You have different type of sellers. Some sellers are motivated and realistic, they price properly, and they sell quickly. Some sellers are not really motivated, right? They list high and wait, and this adds inventory, but it's not a real inventory, right? Some sellers withdraw instead of cutting, and some sellers rent the property out and pause. All these type of sellers add to the inventory, right? So the market clears in pockets. This is why you can see more inventory and it's still not a dramatic price drop across the board. A lot of sellers are still not desperate to price cut. They test the market and then they withdraw the market. You see discounts on listings that are wrong, and you see stability on listings that are right. Another reason we see jump in the listing is the mortgage renewals, right? So some homeowners renew and their payments are going up. Others try to refinance and the lender asks for some cash injections into the property because the value's gone down and the numbers don't work like they expected. So some people list because they feel the pressure, but even those sellers often still have a number in their mind and they keep on to their property before giving it out for a huge discount. So again, you can have more listings without a flood of accepted offers because the pricing still has to match what buyers will pay. So let's ask this question. What you should do if you're selling? Here is a practical checklist I give sellers in this market. 1, price for today's competition, not yesterday's sale. 2, fix the presentation. Cleaning, decluttering, lighting, staging, and strong photos and presentations. Sometimes, videos also be very helpful. 3, choose an offer strategy that fits your segment. And 4, stay flexible on terms, closing days, inclusions, and conditions. The more flexible you are, the easier it is that you receive offers. Number 5, pay attention to the first 7 to 10 days and adjust fast if the market is not responding. Those 5 solve most showings but no offer situations. And what about buyers? What is the opportunity right now? Well, you as a buyer, you have a lot of opportunity. But here's what I tell buyers. 1, focus on listings that have been sitting. Those are the ones where you have leverage. If you want deep discounts, right? Sometimes you just want a specific location, then you go after those. 2, negotiate using facts, days on the market, comparables, competing listings. Don't just like lowball out of thin air. 3, don't get emotional and throw random lowballs, right? Target the listings with the right story. And number 4, protect yourselves when you need to. In this market, you can do inspection, financing, status certificates for condos specifically. And number 5, remember that the goal is not to time the market perfectly. The goal is to buy a property that works for your life and your budget and your timing, right? Last question, sellers ask, should I wait until spring? To be honest, I don't know. Nobody knows. What I do know is this. If you're a seller, waiting only helps if you use the time to prepare and you are relisting when you list. If you're a buyer, waiting only helps if you need time to save, improve income, or reduce your risk. If you're ready, you shop with patience and you negotiate with discipline. This market rewards discipline. If you want help building a plan for your situation, selling, moving up, or buying, book a call with me. I'll look at your numbers, your timeline, and your options, and I'll tell you the cleanest path based on today's market. Thank you for watching.